Hi, good morning. It's the last day of March, 2026. I'm suddenly reminded of an event that took place when I was a kid. I thought it was somewhat relevant, and turns out it happened around Easter, so it's timely. My apologies to my mother before I tell this story. Don't worry, it's not, if you're watching, it's nothing too. Once upon a time, my mother was married to this guy, and he became my stepdad, and they were married for about 5 years. He was very abusive. I'll just say that. Now, by the time I'm 13, going on 14, things are already bad. They had been for quite some time, and their marriage was falling apart because the man was abusive and lazy. Anyway, this is probably already too much. I apologize. So here's the story. I have a younger brother who's about 10 years younger than me, and at about the age of 13, I was 13, we were dyeing Easter eggs. I sat down to dye Easter eggs with my younger brother. My mom wasn't home at the time. I don't know why. It was midday, probably on a weekend. So we dyed about a dozen hard-boiled eggs. And when we were all finished up, now this was just me and my brother when I say we, okay? The stepdad wasn't participating in this. I don't know what the hell he was doing, sitting on his lazy ass, because that's about all he did. So we finished up, and I was taking this dozen eggs into the fridge, and we had one of those dumbass French door fridges, real narrow, that, there's not enough space to store a fucking thing, but I guess they're the new hip thing, so that's what everybody's doing. Anyway. So I opened the fridge door, put the eggs in, and then I grabbed a hold of the door like this to pull it shut, but I grabbed a hold of the raw egg tray, and all those eggs came flying out and hit the ground, and busted and broke. So I grabbed a kitchen towel. I got down and I started picking up the egg shells and wiping up the raw egg mess all over the floor. And my stepdad came to the kitchen and he started chewing my ass for using a towel. Why aren't you using paper towels? And by this point, I'm starting to get bigger. And the two of us had gone fisticuffs a few times. So I'm no longer backing down. So I stood up and said to him, God damn it, you would have been fucking chewing my ass if I would have grabbed the paper towels and used the paper towels. You would have come in here and said, why aren't you wiping up the floor with a towel and wasting all the paper towels? Like, there was no way I was ever going to get it right with him, right? Like, he was going to be angry. Dude, he fucking chewed my ass because I swept the floor wrong. Because I pulled the broom towards myself instead of doing like this big giant sweep motion. I don't know, man. Anyway, don't worry, they divorced. And I never spoke to him again. He probably knows better. He keeps his distance from me. So, because now I'm considerably older and I fucking bust up his other hip. Anyway. Why am I telling this story? This is why I'm telling you this story. Because I'm seeing a lot from these lefties in blue states mostly, who are so bent because a No Kings protest isn't going to amount to anything. And so I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, but if we didn't go protest, you'd be fucking bitching too, right? And the biggest thing that I noticed, though, from these people who say this shit, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, because I can see it with my own eyes. They live in cushier digs than I do. They're sitting in cars with leather seats. They're using video equipment that's worth more than my car. For sure. I've heard them talk about it. They say that helping your neighbors now has become the popular thing, and we can't be popular. We don't want to do that. Shit, Christ, you all have jumped the shark. You know helping neighbors is one way to get off that capitalist grind, right? Yeah, whatever, man. You'd be bent and bitching if we weren't helping our neighbors, because I think that's how you generate your views. is just to be the opposition. That's it. You don't live, those kind of people have a trust fund. They don't live in a red state. They still have all of their civil rights intact, and they won't bleed to death if they have the audacity to get pregnant. And I think genuinely, truly, that they're just, number one, lazy, and then insecure, mostly. So I'm not willing to be an old lady in my bed and looking back on this time and knowing that it was just that easy. All I had to do was put my shoes on and go outside. That's it. These people on the socials who are, fucking Jill Stein voters. I don't know, man. Y'all have lost the fucking plot. And the rest of us are gonna, pay for it. That's how I feel about them. Like that stepdad, that abusive, alcoholic stepdad who is never happy. It doesn't matter. It won't matter. I could help my late neighbor. I could stop helping my neighbor, and they would complain either way. Because that's their liberty. They got all the luxury in the world to sit around on their ass and run their mouth. I never see them doing any kind of work. They're just, and then they accuse us of being performative because we went outside with our shoes on. Yeah, okay. That's all I have to say about that. You have a good day.